Hi everyone! Welcome to the Psychology Decoded channel. Everyone feels lonely from time to time, whether it's when we have no one to sit with during lunch, move to a new city, or when no one is available to spend time with on the weekend. However, in recent decades, this occasional loneliness has become a chronic issue for millions of people. In the UK, 60% of those aged 18 to 34 often report feeling lonely. In the US, 46% of the entire population experiences regular loneliness. Despite living in the most connected era in human history, more people than ever feel isolated. It's important to note that being lonely and being alone are two different things. You can feel happy when alone, or you can feel miserable even when surrounded by friends. Loneliness is a personal, subjective experience. If you feel lonely, then you are lonely. A common misconception is that loneliness only happens to people who lack social skills or have trouble interacting with others. But studies have shown that, in adults, social skills don't play much of a role when it comes to building connections. Loneliness can affect anyone, regardless of wealth, fame, beauty, or charm. It's a natural part of being human. Much like hunger signals that you need food, loneliness signals that you need social connection. Our bodies care about our social connections because for our ancestors, they were vital to survival. Natural selection favored those who worked together and formed strong bonds. Over time, human brains became more sensitive to the thoughts and feelings of others, helping to strengthen social ties. Being social was ingrained in our biology. Early humans lived in groups of 50 to 150 people, often staying with the same group their entire lives. Survival was almost impossible alone. In those days, being excluded from your group could be more dangerous than a predator. To protect against isolation, humans developed social pain, a feeling of rejection that acted as an early warning system. Those who found rejection painful were more likely to adjust their behavior and remain in the group. This is why being rejected hurts so much and why loneliness is so painful. These mechanisms helped keep us connected for most of human history, but things began to change as society evolved. The loneliness epidemic began in the late Renaissance, as Western culture started to prioritize individualism. This trend continued through the Industrial Revolution, when people left rural villages to work in factories, and communities that had existed for centuries began to fade. As modern life progressed, we began moving for jobs, relationships, and education, leaving behind our social support systems. Today, we meet fewer people face to face, and we interact less frequently than in the past. In the US, the average number of close friends people have dropped from 3 in 1985 to 2 in 2011. For many, chronic loneliness happens gradually. As you get older, life gets busy with work, school, relationships, children, and entertainment, and spending time with friends often takes a back seat. One day, you may realize you feel isolated and long for close connections, but it's difficult to form new relationships as an adult. While we may feel proud of technological achievements like smartphones and space exploration, our bodies and minds are still wired for the social lives we led 50,000 years ago. Research shows that the stress from chronic loneliness is one of the unhealthiest experiences for humans. It speeds up aging, worsens diseases like cancer and Alzheimer's, weakens the immune system, and is twice as deadly as obesity. In fact, it's as dangerous as smoking a pack of cigarettes a day. Chronic loneliness can become a self-perpetuating cycle. Physical and social pain activate the same areas of the brain, making loneliness feel like a threat. As a result, when we feel lonely, we become defensive, and our brains become hypersensitive to social cues, even though we may misinterpret them. We might focus more on other people's behaviors, but understand them less. This leads to further problems. We may view neutral interactions as hostile, which makes us distrust others. Loneliness can make us assume the worst about people's intentions, leading us to become more self-focused, cold, and socially awkward than we actually are. To break this cycle, the first step is recognizing it. A sense of isolation leads to sadness, causing you to focus on negative interactions, which makes your thoughts and behaviors more negative. You might begin to avoid social situations, which worsens the loneliness, creating a feedback loop. You might sit away from others in a classroom, ignore phone calls, or stop accepting invitations until they stop coming altogether. If you believe people are excluding you, they may pick up on that belief, and your interactions may reflect how you feel. Over time, this can lead to depression and further isolation. The first step toward breaking free from loneliness is accepting that it's a normal human experience. Everyone feels lonely at some point, and it's not something to be ashamed of. Instead of ignoring it, focus on the cause. Are you only paying attention to the negative aspects of social interactions? Were those interactions truly negative, or were they neutral or even positive? Try to examine your assumptions. Are you expecting the worst from people? Are you avoiding being vulnerable because you fear rejection? Consider giving others the benefit of the doubt and opening yourself up to connection. Finally, think about your behavior. Are you actively avoiding social opportunities? Are you pushing people away? If so, try making an effort to be open to new connections. Every person's situation is unique, and sometimes introspection alone isn't enough. If you find it difficult to manage feelings of loneliness, reaching out for professional help is a sign of strength, not weakness. Whether we view loneliness as an individual issue or a public health crisis, it deserves more attention. Humans have built incredible things, but none of our creations can replace our fundamental need for connection. We don't just survive on what the physical world provides. We survive on the relationships we build with one another. If you found this video helpful, hit the like button and share it with someone who might benefit from it. Don't forget to subscribe to Psychology Decoded and click the notification bell for more insightful content. Thank you for watching.